Did you get the vaccine? No? Why? Why didn't you get it? What if you catch COVID? The vaccine doesn't stop you from catching COVID. Why are you being so selfish? What if you catch it and give it to me?
I think it's going to be a very skeptical American public about taking the vaccine, and they should be.
We can't trust the president and take his word.
Of cases is particularly concentrated in states with low vaccination rates. Just 2 states, Florida and Texas, account for 1/3 of all new COVID-19 cases in the entire country. Just 2 states. Look, we need leadership from everyone. If some governors aren't willing to do the right thing to beat this pandemic, then they should allow businesses and universities who want to do the right thing to be able to do it.
Oh no!
To the report on Governor Cuomo's sexual harassment, a lot of men in politics have been accused of sexual harassment. President Biden was accused by female Secret Service agents of skinny dipping in front of them, offending them, according to former Washington Post reporter Ronald Kessler, who's an author as well. His former Senate aide Tara Reid accused him of sexual assault. The Washington Post and the New York Times have published multiple accounts of women who objected to the way President Biden touched them. Should there be an independent investigation of allegations into the president as there was into Governor Cuomo?
Well, first I would say the president has been clear and outspoken about the importance of women being respected and having their voices heard and being allowed to tell their stories and people treating them with respect.
And take a vaccine that might cause harm to us.
If and when the vaccine comes, and it's not likely to go through all the tests that needs to be and the trials that are needed to be done.
Let's just say there's a vaccine that is approved and even distributed before the election. Would you get it?
Well, I think that's going to be an issue for all of us.
When we finally do, God willing, get a vaccine, who's going to take the shot?
Was very sharp with kind of his perspective on Republican governors who put specific potential public health options. It echoed something you'd said yesterday, a very sharp tone, either deal with it or move out of the way. Is that an intentional shift? What's driving kind of a very sharp tone in regards to these specific actions by Republican governors?
Well, let me be also clear that, as the president said yesterday, the vast majority of leaders, and as I said too, continue to step up and do the right thing. People like Governor Hutchinson have been traveling their state, hearing from their communities, and answering questions about the vaccine. We're also in constant communication with our nation's governor. So even as we called out steps that, and he called out steps that we felt should have been taken by the governors of Florida and Texas, we're in touch with those offices about providing additional assistance and seeing if we can figure out what their needs are and how we can help meet them. And we
Come on. Come on.
Why don't you get this border secure? And until you do that, I don't want to hear a blip about COVID from you. Thank you.
international groups representing healthcare workers say now is the time for a vaccine mandate in Canada.
Who's going to take the shot?
We will need to have access to the vaccine results so we can make our independent assessment to make sure that Donald Trump's fingerprints are not on it.
You can be the first one to say, sign me up. They now say it's okay.
Is the vaccine safe? Frankly, I'm not going to trust the federal government's opinion.
Both the Canadian Medical Association and the Canadian Nurses Association say people who work in healthcare should be required to be vaccinated against COVID-19. So far, only 3 countries have introduced laws to make vaccines mandatory for health workers: France, Italy, and Greece. Dr. Catherine Smart is in Whitehorse. She's the incoming president of the Canadian Medical Association. And in Halifax is Tim Guest, the president of the Canadian Nurses Association. Thanks for joining us, both of you. We tried to find 2 people as far apart geographically as possible in this country, and I think we've succeeded. I want to hear from both of you on this, if you don't mind, but Dr. Smart, I'll begin with you. Why should healthcare workers be mandated to take the COVID-19 vaccine?
Well, I think what we're seeing right now is a changing field in terms of COVID. You know, we've seen nurses and physicians step up and lead the way in terms of accepting vaccination. But now that the Delta variant's at play, what we know is we really need to have our entire health workforce vaccinated to ensure safety for our patients. When we look at it through the lens of accountability and what the public expects from us, they expect to come to healthcare settings and be safe. And that's why we're calling for mandatory vaccination now.
Come here. Come here. Come here. And I wouldn't recommend to New Yorkers based on the federal government's opinion.
And the question of whether it's real when it's there, that requires enormous transparency.
Would you trust that vaccine?
There's very little that we can trust that comes out of Donald Trump's mouth.
We cannot take for granted this process will be free of political influence.
I don't trust the president, and I don't trust the FDA.
If Donald Trump can't give answers and the administration can't give answers to these 3 questions, the American people should not have confidence.
The number of individuals vaccinated, the better opportunity we have to protect the vulnerable patients that we look after each other and ensure the sustainability and stability of our healthcare system going forward.
Another key lever, I guess, Tim, would be testing. Some hospitals, for example, University Health Network in Toronto, will require unvaccinated employees to test negative before coming to work. Is that okay? Is that a prudent measure instead of forcing people to get vaccinated?
I think what it is it's an employer providing options for its workforce, and we believe that that is what's needed.
These governors, please help. But if you aren't going to help, at least get out of the way of the people who are trying to do the right thing. Use your power to save lives. But others have declined to step up. I find it disappointing. And worst of all, some state officials are passing laws or signing orders that forbid people from doing the right thing. As of now, 7 states not only ban mask mandates, but also ban them in their school districts, even for young children who cannot get vaccinated. Some states have even banned businesses and universities from requiring workers and students to be masked or vaccinated. And the most extreme of those measures is like the one in Texas that says state universities or community colleges could be fined if it allows a teacher to ask her unvaccinated students to wear a mask.
You're going to say to the American people now, here's a vaccine, it was new, it was done quickly, but trust this federal administration and their health administration that it's safe?
I will say that I would not trust Donald Trump.
Hey, how confident are you in the approval process of the FDA right now?
How confident am I? I'm not that confident.
You guys fucking suck! My parents are reported fucking 2 million goddamn gallons. And you know what? You fucking suck! Yeah! Yeah! You know what? My grandpa is reported your fucking place. My fucking attorney! Shut the fuck up! You see? Hey! Yo! Chill out! I'm behind you. Violator, bro! You're a savage! I'm at a
Ladies and gentlemen.
¿Qué quieres, Alfa? No te voy a dar comida, güey. You gonna get it? You gonna get it?
But you've been vaccinated. Yeah, but you can still give it to me. What's the vaccine for then? It'll stop you from getting really sick and dying if you catch it. So if I catch it and give it to you, but you've already had the vaccine, it'll still stop you from getting really sick and dying. Exactly. That's why you should get it. That's why I should get it, but you got it already. But if you catch it, you could get sick and die. So by not getting the vaccine, the only person I'm putting at risk is myself of getting sick and dying? No, you're putting me at risk. Didn't you already get the vaccine so you won't get sick and die, even if I gave it to you? But you could give it to someone who can't be vaccinated. But so could someone who's been vaccinated because the vaccine doesn't stop you from getting COVID. Just do it, okay?